Hi everyone! Welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. So today I will be going over Captivate, how to use Captivate. So first off, what's Captivate? So it's a program that I use to create e-learning. So I'm a registered nurse, and in the hospitals that I worked at or clinics or whatnot, we have e-learnings. We have those topics that the hospital or our workplace needs us to learn or be evaluated on before we can do a certain task. And so I create those e-learnings. From way back, we would do our classes face to face, but since COVID, one of the main tasks or one of the main things that I have to do at work is to create all these e-learnings. So instead of a traditional class that you have your instructor, a nursing instructor or whatnot, in front of you in a small room with 15-20 people, we record all these trainings and create them as e-learning, and then we upload them into your LMS or whatever intranet website that you use or program that you use for this e-learning. So I know for sure for those employees working in the hospital, they know what I'm talking about. So they have different platforms like TalentWorks, like Cornerstone, HealthStream. So that's where we upload the finished product. So how is this different from like PowerPoint and other platforms that we use in teaching? So PowerPoint, I use PowerPoint a lot too, but it's kind of limited as far as what you can do. With Captivate, you can be interactive. You can create an interactive class or training wherein your users can actually practice what you're trying to teach them. For example, if there is a new documentation process, what we can do is we can record and show them how to use it, like screen record, and show them the actual look of of the the new documentation, go over what they need to fill out. They'll watch this, and then at the later part, they can actually do it themselves. So what we do, well, what I do is I take a screenshot of that window, okay, whatever they need to learn, and create it or duplicate it or mirror it so that they can click and do and practice what they just watched, that they can practice without using the actual or the live documentation program, because we don't want to like log in and practice in a live patient. So in this way, they're training, but they're actually clicking and practicing. So it'll make more sense as we go over the program. So for today, we'll start slow. We'll just go over all these menus up here. Okay, what we can do. Actually, this is a video that I recorded earlier, but I'll show you all these menus up here. Alright, so let's pull up our Captivate. Okay, so here, when you open up Captivate, if you've created other e-learnings, you'll have them here as recent. You can create a new one or resources. So for the training, okay, we will be creating an e-learning from scratch. So here, there's different ways or different types of e-learnings that you can use. You have this responsive project. If you want to do it this way, virtual reality. This is really cool. I haven't done it myself, but I've watched a video. It's like the name itself, virtual reality. So the video that I watched, this person was trying to show an apartment complex or a house, and he was trying to show him like each part of the house. Okay, and then this is where like a breakdown of what the house has to offer. So you kind of just use there's a button for an arrow so that it goes to this side or upwards or sideways, but it's really cool. It's a picture, like a 360 picture of what he was trying to show. Software simulation. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is where they can also practice. Okay, so if you create, if there's a new program or software that you want to teach them, this is the interactive way of teaching it. Video demo. Okay, so if you recorded a video and you want to upload in Captivate, this is one way of doing it. And then also there's an option for PowerPoint. So if you already have a PowerPoint presentation, you can actually upload it here and use those slides to create your Captivate. Okay, the only thing is I actually won't advise you doing it. It sounds like it's easier, it's quicker, faster than creating new slides. But I've tried it so many times. I upload a PowerPoint, but it gets stuck. So it gets stuck, and then it says not responding. It'll take a while, and then after you waited for like an hour, it will just say not responding, and then it crashes. And I've tried it so many times, so I don't use it in that way because it's just wasting my time. So I'd rather just do it as a blank project, and then from there I'll copy the PowerPoint slide into my new slide. So for today we'll use a blank project. So all this responsive project, software simulation, video demo, PowerPoint, um, maybe also virtual reality, you can use them all in this blank project. Okay, because the e-learnings that I've done is a combination of all this stuff right here. So I almost always use blank project, and then here also you can select the size. What's nice about this is, let's say you know that your users, the staff that will be watching this will be using iPad, then you can configure the output or the size for an iPad, for an iPhone, Android, whatever. Okay, but usually I would do for desktop. Okay, and then you hit create, and then it opens up to a blank project. Let's put this right here. Alright, sometimes it takes a while. Okay, there we go. So if you are creating a project, a Captivate project from scratch, this is how it's gonna look like. You'll only see one slide here to begin with, to start with. So here we go. Let's go over all these menus up here. Okay, all these buttons down here, and some of these buttons right here, and then I'll show you more commands on this side later on. Okay, so first things first, let's go over all these menus right here. Just like any Microsoft programs, your Word, PowerPoint, there's different ways, there's multiple ways of doing things, and same with Captivate. You would see some of the commands that you'll find in these menus, they're actually here as a button. So when you get familiar with the buttons, this for me is the shortcut. I don't have to click on edit and get to whatever I need to do because it's already here. I don't need to click file and save or save as because I already have this icon right here. So we'll go over that. But let's do file. So file is just like your Word, your PowerPoint, your Excel. This is where you can select new project, record a new simulation video demo, open recent file, close, save as, import or export, publish. Okay, publish. So you can publish to YouTube or you can publish it in your computer and upload it later. So here, publish, if you can see, you can find it under file, but also you have this button right here for publish. So for me, I don't use it through file. I just use this button right here. Alright. Edit. I don't really use edit as much. Okay. So you have duplicate, meaning you want to duplicate a slide. So also, instead of using edit and duplicate or delete, what I can do is right click on the slide, and you have the same options right here, same command. So I can duplicate it or delete. Okay. What else? Zoom in or zoom out. I don't really use all these other ones, but the zoom in, zoom out, I use my keyboard. So you can use control plus or control minus to zoom out. So you'll see later why you would have to zoom out or zoom in, because it depends on an item or an object that you want to add here. Sometimes you have to adjust the size. Alright, modify. I don't really use this, but you have all these options right here. So project, what I use project for is the skin editor right here. So what's nice, well for me, what's nice about this is you have an option to remove these controls right here. So you uncheck this and it's gone. So what is the importance of that? So for example, you want to add a video, right? So you want to export a video that you recorded into one of your slides. So when we make an e-learning, usually we would remove those commands because we want to make sure that the users watch the whole thing, the whole video. If you keep the playback control, okay, they can fast forward, they have all these buttons right here, and just skip the whole thing. Okay, although what they don't know is that we can see how long they spent time in the video, okay, how long they watched the video, and then I can tell, oh, this video is like 20 minutes and she finished the whole thing in like 10 minutes. So we can tell that they didn't really watch the whole thing. But in order to avoid that from happening is we remove the buttons, we remove this controls. So you can either remove the whole thing, or you can still have some controls, but usually I would remove forward or fast forward, and also the progress bar. So the progress bar is right here. So even if you remove the forward, fast forward, but if you have the progress bar, they can drag it and still fast forward. So I also would remove the progress bar. So it depends on how strict you want it to be, but you have that option. Okay, most of the time for videos I just remove the whole thing altogether, or depends on what my boss would tell me, but yes, you have that option. And also what's nice about this is you can change the look. Okay, you can, there's so many things and they all look the same, but they should not look this. So this, all this, you can change how it looks like right there. So it depends on what you like, the preference. Also, you can change the colors. Let's do red. Okay, so it's up to you how you want it to look like. So just for practice purposes, we'll keep it that way. So X is right here to go back to the main page. So that's under, where is that? Under project, that is your skin editor. Okay, next is quiz. So one thing I like about Captivate is that you can add quizzes or practice questions. So before, when we used to use PowerPoint, we would have our learnings, like our topics in PowerPoint, and then we use forms for the test. What's nice with Captivate, you have both of them, okay, the topics that you need to teach and the test in one place. Okay, so when you have all that, when you're done teaching, when they're done watching the video, learning it, and then the testing, it gets uploaded to your learning management system, and then it checks the test. So when you run the report, it'll tell you if they pass or not. So no more of you trying to use two programs, PowerPoint and then your forms to check if they pass or not. It's all in one place. So that's what's nice about it. So you have an option of what type of question that you want to do. So it can be just a practice question. So you have a question, they answer it, but it's not graded, or you have an actual quiz that's graded, and it gives them the score at the end, and it'll tell them to to either retake or if they pass. Okay, and also what's nice about it, you can configure how many times they can take the test. So for us, they only get 2 chances. If they fail it, they need to remediate, meaning go over the whole thing with an instructor. So all those configurations, you can set it in Captivate. Okay, and also you can run the report once it's in your LMS. You can run the report and you can see what score they got, how many times they tried to take it, what items they missed. So that's what's nice about it. Okay, so that's that. Quiz preferences. So this is where we will go over this more in detail. It's grayed out because we don't have a slide with a quiz. But once we have it, maybe in another video, I'll show you how to set this, to configure this. Alright, let's cancel that. Then audio, if you want to import an audio from your computer or somewhere, this is where you would do it. Record, if you want to record on the slide or the background. So it's like the voiceover. And I don't use this. Video is if you want to insert a video. Again, you can use a video from online. Okay, you would just put in the URL, or you can find that video from your computer. Themes, I don't really use this, but you can like change the look or the theme of your Captivate. Windows, I don't use this, but you have all of these things right here. Skin editor again is right there. Okay, so here, slides. So this is like in PowerPoint, this is where you will add your slides. So it's either you will use the asset library. So I want to point out, you have this right here, and you also have asset icon right here, button right here. Okay, content slide, if you want a new content slide or a blank slide, a question slide for your quiz or knowledge check. So you have different, if you want simulation, video demo, PowerPoint slides. So you have all these options. What type of slide do you need? Okay, and then themes, again, there's different themes. You can also get some themes online. I don't really use themes because I do it differently. I'll show you later. Alright, text. Okay, so text is, let me actually add a blank slide so I can show you how it looks like. Alright, so this is the slide that we created or we added. So just to use a text, you have 3 options. One is a text caption. So if we want to add a text, did we click it? Okay, so right here. So what you'll do is you'll double click it so you can configure. Hello, February. Okay. And then this is what I was talking about, the menu. Okay. Usually when you add an item or an object, this pops open because this is where you would configure the item. Okay, meaning be it a text or a shape or whatever it is, you will look to this right hand side right here and you can change the look, the size, the color. So let's say I want this in red. So I'll change red. I want it bolded, italicized. I want it bigger. Oh, I mean bigger, not smaller. Okay. So it's bigger, but I cannot see it. So what you'll do is you'll adjust this box right here. Okay. So if it look like it's cut off, it means that the size of this box, the text box, is not big enough, so you'll have to adjust. Alright, so let's say I'm happy with that. Now there's your text. Okay, there's another option right here, text entry box. So let's try that out. Alright, so this shows up. What is this for? So for example, you are testing your user. You want to ask them a question, but instead of using your usual multiple choice, you can actually add a text box, and when they click on this, they can type in their answer. Okay, and then this submit button is optional. It depends on how you want to use this, like submit to grade it or whatnot, but usually I would delete this. So this right here, okay, so you can configure how it looks like. You can keep it or you can delete it. It's really up to you, but this is a button. And then you can configure also what it says. Okay, let's say just enter. Okay, if you don't want the word submit, you can change it right here. Okay, so that's what that's for. Another one is your text animation. So I'm not gonna try that. It's just like your animation in PowerPoint. So if you need that, shapes. Okay, you have different shapes right here. So let's do maybe this one right here. So what you'll do, it will not just automatically appear. You will have to create it. So I created it on top of Hello February. We'll see if it shows up. Okay, so see what happens. It covered up the my text. So yes, I want the shape, but I also want to be able to see the text that I made. So if it shows like this, okay, this happens because you created this shape right here after you typed in the message. So what you'll do here is another thing that you really need to know is your timeline. So right now you can't see it, but when you click down here, it'll open up. Okay, another thing that you would want to know is that you can drag this, because later after we add all this objects, you'll have a bunch of them right here. So each of these items right here corresponds to all of this right here. So this is your timeline, okay? Everything that you have on here. Here in the timeline also, it'll show you how many seconds, how many minutes your e-learning is. Okay, so right now it tells me it's 3 seconds. So here, my smart shape is this, okay? The blue rectangular, rounded rectangular thing right here. If I want my message to show, I will arrange it the way that I want to see it, okay? So Hello February is right here, but it's behind that rectangular shape. So what I'll do is I'll select it here in the timeline and drag it up here so that we can see it. Okay, I don't like the color. It doesn't. So what you can do, okay, so since I don't like the color, I double click it and I'll select all, and then maybe I'll change it to, I don't know, white, so it doesn't there. Okay, so that is the purpose of your timeline. You want to arrange your objects here depending on how you want to see it. One important thing about timeline is when we get to objects right here. Okay, I'll show you. So that's the purpose of your shape. You also, if you want to use, you have an arrow here, an object. I can change the color to, I don't know, maybe red. So you have a red arrow, and this object right here, I can use this as a button, okay? Meaning if they click this, it can do whatever I program it to do. So here, select this object right here, and then here under, where is it at? Right here, use as a button. Okay, click here. Alright, and now this opens up. You can click on actions, and then it says on success, what do you want it to do? You can either, these are all the options that you can make this arrow do when they click it. So it's either you can have it go to the next slide, or go and jump to slide number 15, or open a file or URL. show a video, show a picture. There's so many things that you can make it do when they click on that box. So let's just say we wanted to go to slide number, I don't know. There's only one slide. Or maybe let's just go to the next slide. So when they click this, it'll go to the next slide. Okay? So that's your shapes. Alright, objects right here. Highlight box. So what it does, okay, is, oh, yes, it will highlight whatever part of a text or a picture that you want to highlight. Basically, just putting an emphasis to it. Okay? So that's your object. You have the mouse right here. This is really cool. I think it's cool. So when the users play this, okay, so you just adjust it where you want the mouse pointer to go. So when they play it, you'll see the mouse pointer actually move to get to where you put this right here. So again, for emphasis, so it's just a design. Zoom area, okay, so this is the destination, meaning if I put the zoom source, so hello will be zoomed in, and that zoomed in file or zoomed in source will be shown right here. So you can put it wherever you want, but that's the purpose of the zoom in. I have not used all these other things, but you're free to play with it. I haven't had a chance to play with it, but you have all of these options right here. Alright, interaction. So we briefly talked about buttons, but here we go. We can add another button. So if this is just the same as this and the same as this, okay, button, you can also change, where is that at? Under style. Okay, you can change the caption again to smile, I don't know, whatever you want to put on there. And then also under actions, you can change the command, whatever you want it to do. Go to previous slide. So when they click on this, it will go back to the previous slide. So that is your button. Click box. So this is very important, a click box. Okay. So these ones right here are captions. So let's say if they click on the right spot, it'll say success, or if they failed, or if you want to give them a hint, it's up to you. But for me, it's too much. I don't know, it gets my slide too crowded, so I don't really use this. So if you don't want to use it, just delete it. Click on it and delete. But that's an option if you want to. So click box, meaning, let's say for example, what can we do? Let's say this whole hello February, if we want to create or to make this as a button, which is, or a click box, which also functions as a button. So when your users click on hello February, okay, what it'll do is, depending on what you assign it to do. So on success, what do we want to do? Maybe go to the previous slide. So it functions as a button. Okay, so you have an option, either change this whole rectangular box and make it into a button, or just add a click box. But the only thing I want to point out is, if you're using a click box or a button, please make sure that your click box is at the top, because if you put it behind the word hello February or behind the rectangular box right here, it won't function as a button because it has to be right on top. So when you preview it, even though it's there, but if it's behind, it's not gonna work as a button. So you always want to make sure that in your timeline, it's at the top so it functions right. Okay, interaction, drag and drop. Yes, so this is really nice. If you want, for example, you have a question, let's match this goes here, so you can drag and drop the answer to the question. So it's like matching type, something like that. Okay, learning interactions, I've not used that, but you have that option there too. Media, here is where you would, if you need or if you want to insert an image, an audio, a video, animation, this is where you would do it, or interactive video. So here, when you click interactive video, it gives you an option to use Vimeo or YouTube, and then you'll just paste here the URL of the video that you want to use. Or if your video is in your computer, you can click on here and then browse and find your video. So this is a video that I recorded way back, and then I would actually, let me create it in a different tab so you can see it. So I'm inserting a blank tab, and then I am gonna insert a video right here. Click on the video, open it up, okay, and then say okay, and there's your video.